Okay, this is trainer and coach Josh with a lesson on the the portion plan approach to nutrition. The meal plan approach can be found in the comments of this video. The meal plan approach is a very simple process of you figure out what your number of calories are, and then you just follow a recipe guide to make meals that are in conjunction with your daily caloric needs. Now, the portion plan approach is going to help people see exactly what they need at each meal. Exactly how much protein, how much fat, how much carbs they need. And so I'm going to do a lesson here on those people that are looking to reduce their body fat composition. And body fat composition is going to require that we, number one, we figure out what that we go through our caloric needs process, and I'll post a link to that particular lesson and video as well. Once you have gone through your caloric needs assessment, you figured out your body fat, you figured out how many calories you need based on your goal, your weight loss goal, then you're going to plug that calorie number into this spreadsheet. For here, we're going to use somebody that's going to be on a 1,500 calorie diet, 1,500 calories per day, because we've determined based on their body composition and on their activity level, that's going to help them stimulate the weight loss that they're looking for without underfeeding their body. So now, in order to have a good macronutrient ratio equation, we're going to give this person 40% of their overall daily calories is going to come from protein. 30% of these overall daily calories is going to come from fat, and 30% is going to come from carbohydrates. And we're going to split those carbohydrates. Half the carbohydrates are going to come from fruits and vegetables, and half the carbohydrates are going to come from complex carbs. So what we're going to take a look at now is, once we've dialed all these numbers in, notice that this is 0, the dairy, eliminating dairy. Sometimes we can use dairy for a low-fat protein source, but to get the best results, I recommend leaving dairy out of your nutrition plan. So we're going to look at breakfast. So this entire area right here is breakfast. So we're going to be getting 20% of our daily calories for breakfast. I'll go ahead and outline the rest of it. For our AM snack, 15% of our daily calories. For our lunch is going to be 30% of our daily calories. And again, PM snack, 15% of our daily calories. And our dinner is going to be 20% of our daily calories. So notice that we have our largest number of calories at the midday portion of our meal, our midday portion of our day. So we've got a 300 calorie breakfast. We're going to break that up, that 300 calories, into 40% protein, 30% fat, 30% carbs. So we've got, for our proteins, we're going to talk in terms of calories. We need 120 calories from lean proteins. So we can get that in the form of, let's say, I've got 4 pre-programmed options here. You can get 7.5 egg whites. You can just round it to 7 or 8. It doesn't really matter. You're getting close. Or let's say that we are going to do a protein shake. We're not talking about a Shakeology shake. We're just talking about a protein shake with all the right ingredients. Or we're going to do 3.64 ounces of meat. Now, that's going to be lean meat like turkey, chicken, fish, that kind of thing. And I also want you to round that to either the nearest half or quarter. So anytime you see these fractions, these decimals, don't freak out about it. Just say, okay, 3.5 ounces will be fine, or 3.75 ounces, something of that nature. Okay, so for this example, we're just going to put together an egg white omelet. So we're going to do 7 egg whites. We'll just round that down, 7 egg whites. And if you're measuring egg whites out of the liquid carton, that's going to be 7 fluid ounces of egg whites. So you're going to get out a measuring cup and measure 7 ounces, and you're good to go. Now we're going to move over to fruits and vegetables. We need 45 calories from fruits and vegetables. So that is going to be approximately 1 cup of solid vegetables. And if we were going to get this in another form, we'd do basically half a cup. We'd reduce that 4/9, just reduce it down to half a cup of fruit there. Or if we're going to do spinach, we get almost 2 cups of leafy greens, so spinach, kale, something of that nature. So for an omelet, it makes sense to use the solid vegetables. So we're going to saute up a cup of mushrooms, peppers, and tomatoes. We're going to dice them up. We're going to saute them, and then we're going to add the eggs, and we've got our fruits and vegetables covered, and we've got our proteins covered. Next, I'm actually going to skip the fats. I'm going to go over to the carbs. So we need 45 calories from complex carbs. That's going to be your grains. So if you look at the toast, toast is typically anywhere from 80 to 100 calories for a piece of whole grain toast. So that means that, let's just reduce this fraction down to 4/8. We simplify 4/8, it becomes 1/2. We get half of a piece of whole grain toast, and that would be 45 calories. Or we reduce that oatmeal down to 2/8. We take 2 divided into 8, it becomes a 1/4 cup of oatmeal. So those are options for your complex carbs. Basically, you're getting a 1/4 cup of carbs. And then we look at the fats. At the fats, we see we need 90 calories from fats. We can get that in the form of a nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter, sunflower butter. Basically, all those types of butters are relatively the same in calorie density. So we get 3/4 of a tablespoon, and we can put that on our toast or in our oatmeal. And let's say that we don't want to do that. Let's say we want to use avocado. We can get 3 times the amount of avocado that we can of your typical nut butters, and we can do 2¼ tablespoons of avocado that we could put in our omelet. Okay? We put all that stuff together. We've got a breakfast of 300 calories, fueling us perfectly for our needs. Now, 3 hours later, we're going to go into our snack. Now, this AM snack, for those that are doing Shakeology, this is where I recommend that you use your Shakeology. A couple reasons. Because at this time of the day, that's when people are grabbing that second cup of coffee, or they're grabbing for sugar and other forms of artificial energy. So if you use your Shakeology, you're going to get a nice energy boost, you're going to have focus, you're going to have clarity, and now your Shakeology is going to be 170 calories. It's basically 85 calories of protein, 85 calories of carbohydrates. Now for this snack, you need 225 calories, so you're basically 50 calories short of what you need for this particular meal. Well, if this is your calorie plan, what you can do is you can throw in 50 calories of fats. So it's going to basically be a little less than half of a tablespoon of peanut butter, and that's going to take your calories up to balance you out, add a little bit of fats to your shake, and add some flavor to it as well. Now, with your Shakeology, I recommend that you blend it. Don't use a shaker cup, it's not going to be as tasty. But it is awesome whenever you use a blender. So if you'll do a little bit of ice, and in fact you could even use almond milk instead of the peanut butter we talked about. Almond milk is 30 calories per serving. You need an extra 50 calories here, so you can do a little over a cup, like 1.5 cups of almond milk, and you've now added the fats to your 170 calories to balance things out to give you the fuel that you need for this meal. Alright, so everything else you can ignore if you're doing your Shakeology. Otherwise, you need to pick a protein source. You need to maybe put together a snack for a tuna salad. You'll do 3 ounces of tuna. I'm just rounding up here, so 2.73. I'm rounding up to 3 ounces of tuna. You can do you maybe cut up a third of an apple and put that third of an apple in that tuna, or 2/3 cups of other solid vegetables, and then you'll get a couple of whole grain crackers. Maybe the whole grain crackers that you chose are maybe 10 calories per cracker, so you get 3 of those crackers because you need 34 calories. And then we talk about fats. Maybe you'll do some nuts, like almonds are basically 11 calories per almond, something of that nature, and you will do 6 or 7 almonds. Or you can measure out in ounces of nuts. That would be 2/5 of an ounce, or you can reduce that 5 to a 4, and you have half an ounce of nuts, giving you what you need for all of your fuels for that meal. 3 hours later, we're looking at lunch. We're talking 5.5 ounces of meat, so 5.5 ounces of chicken. We go over to our vegetables. We've got 1 1/3 cup of vegetables. That would be your green beans, you can do asparagus, you can do Brussels sprouts, whatever it happens to be. My recommendation is that at lunch and for the rest of the day, stay away from the fruits. Do fruits in the first part of the day, stay away from fruits the second half of the day, just due to their glycemic index and their amount of sugars. So we've got our vegetable. 1 1/3 cups of vegetables. Then we go over to our complex carbs. We need 1/3 of a cup of complex carbs. That would be your quinoa, your brown rice, your pasta, your sweet potato. 1/3 of a cup. Then we go over to our fats. We need just a tad larger than a tablespoon on our fats. That be it our butter, our nut butter, our oil, whatever it happens to be. So hopefully you get the gist of how this plan is followed. And every food that you choose, when you're choosing a a protein-dense food, we need to make sure that you understand when you read the back of that label that you're truly getting a food that is dense for protein and that you're not getting something that is more fat than protein. For example, turkey bacon. If you were to look at the back of a turkey bacon label, you would see. In fact, let me go. I'm gonna go give you an example of this right now. Let me find that document. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. All right, so I'm going to read a nutrition label here real quick. We're going to go to turkey bacon. Okay. So I want you to notice this turkey bacon. We have a serving size is going to be basically 14 grams. So in that serving size, we've got 35 calories total, and we have 26 calories from fat. So 26 out of 35, that's pretty high as far as calorie density. So if you think you're getting a protein food out of this turkey bacon, you're wrong. If you look down at your protein, you're looking at you've got 2 grams of protein. Now, the way that you convert those grams into calories is you multiply the grams times 4 because there's 4 calories per gram in protein and 4 calories per gram in carbohydrates. Just remember the rule of 4. So this website's really cool because it breaks down in this little pyramid what this food is really based on. And this food is 73% fat, 24% protein, and 3% carbohydrates. That's not a good choice for protein. That's a great choice for fat. Actually, it's not a great choice for fat. It's not the right kind of fat, so you want to get something higher in omegas than this particular food. But let's go take a look at a true protein-dense food. Okay, we're going to go up to egg whites. Okay, we look at egg white. We see that in a cup of egg whites there's 117 calories total, 4 calories from fat. We look at 2 calories from carbohydrates, 2 grams from carbohydrates. We convert the grams to calories by multiplying it times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. There's 8 calories of carbohydrates in this food. We look at the proteins, 26 grams. We multiply 26 times 4. I think that comes to like 108. Let me do the math on that real quick. 26 times 4 is 104. So 104 out of 117 calories from protein. That is a protein-dense food. So you're looking at 91% protein out of this food. So when you're trying to choose a food that's dense for its category, if you're trying to find a fat-dense food, it needs to be from 70% fat. If you're trying to find a protein-dense food, the calories need to be 70% or greater from protein. That helps you eating clean and on target, making sure that the food that you're putting in your body is truly what you think it is, that you're getting the building blocks you think you are. All right, well, that's going to conclude this lesson, and hope that you have enjoyed it, and happy to answer any questions you have, and we will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.